As fast as spring and summer appear, autumn and winter also appear. In the book of Ecclesiastes, King Solomon, perhaps the wisest person in the Bible apart from Jesus, once said, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens, and also a time to plant and a time to uproot." Much has changed in China since 2018. Between government persecution, COVID, and decreasing economic stability, it has been a hard time for the churches in China. But this is not the first time hard times have come to the Chinese churches. In 1949, when foreign missionaries had to leave China, it became a very dark time for the local churches. There was much persecution. Many people were imprisoned for their faith in Jesus, and many lost their lives for the gospel. But they did the one thing you should do during hard times. They remained faithful to their Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. This was truly a dark winter for the Christians in China. But because of their faithfulness during the autumn and winter, when spring and summer, the good times, finally arrived, there were so many seeds planted that they experienced a huge harvest of souls, such a huge harvest. It was perhaps the highest number of people coming to Christ in such a short time in all of history. Their faithfulness during winter came to fruition in the spring and summer. Now we face a new winter for the churches in China, but as before, the Chinese churches are still being faithful.
One report said in the year 2024 alone, 2,000 house churches were shut down, 12,000 Christians were investigated or detained, more than 500 churches were demolished. I met a brother who said he'd been actually in a Sanzi, in a three-self church, and the security police came to the service and the pastor was compelled to teach the latest Xi Jinping thought. The security police left and then they had the real service.
CCSM is also still being faithful to our promise to support the Chinese churches during the good times and the bad, during all the seasons that they face.
I feel our first and major responsibility is that we be regularly praying for the Chinese church. CCSM puts out a regular monthly prayer letter, and our target there is to focus prayers on urgent needs.
Since its founding by Ross Patterson in 1987, CCSM has published and distributed over 17 million Christian books and Bibles. Even today, there is still so much need for Bibles and good Christian literature in China. Although China produces the most Bibles in the world, it is extremely hard for the local believers to receive them.
Spiritual hunger remains strong. This is where CCSM comes in, that whether by the SD cards packed full of teaching materials, whether through the 5 terabyte hard disk packed full of Christian teaching that we help to distribute across China, reaching out to our brothers and sisters, and especially online, where there's a huge opportunity to reach across China. So, pray, give, go, support. There are just a multitude of ways in which we can serve this amazing phenomenon, which we call the church in China and the Chinese people.
CCSM is preparing for the next spring and summer in China. There will be a new time approaching where we will see another huge harvest. There is still so much work to do in China, so many souls that need saving. Will you help us to continue to serve, strengthen, and support the churches within China?